Hello everyone and welcome back to Sonic CD on Steam. I want to say the Sega Mega CD then, even though I'm playing the Steam version. I am One Wild Sheep yet again, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking on Tidal Tempest Zone, the water level of the game, the obligatory water level. And honestly, I think it's one of the more fun water levels in the series, ladies and gentlemen. And I don't know why. I think it's my main complaints of this game probably are basically mainly around the fact this is an exploration-focused game as opposed to a speed-based game, which obviously the classic series always had exploration. I do love exploration being in the classic series, but I don't want that to be the focus. And Tidal Tempest Zone, I think, actually lends its hand to the exploration focus of the game a lot better than you'd expect, and I think it's primarily because it's meant to be a slower paced stage. You know, water levels are meant to be slower paced, they're meant to be more challenging as a result of that, so honestly the exploration aspect really helps out with this particular stage, and I like it. You know, I like this stage. What can I say, it's pretty good, and plus it has some of my favourite soundtrack in this entire game. In fact, one of the things I will always defend to this game, and for pretty much most games in the entire Sonic series, I will always defend this. If you're good, well, not even if you're good enough, you can just listen to all the soundtracks, and all the Sonic soundtracks are really good, you know, folks. I always love the soundtrack of these Sonic games. Sega have a way with music like no other game studio, you know, folks. It's like with Capcom and the Mega Man games. The Mega Man games have fantastic music, pretty much guaranteed every single time. I don't know, I'm saddened that not more companies these days take advantage of the traditional style of game music, you know, where everything's gamey and the music exists to give you something to listen to in the background and give you some decent melodies overall, because a lot of older games I've noticed are really melody focused in terms of their soundtracks. But a lot of modern games, mainly games done by Western studios, I've noticed, tend to be really ambient and atmospheric, and it bugs me. Like, sometimes atmospheric music can work perfectly, but I would still like some more, you know, some more music like this, some more level music, you know, something you can chuck in your iPod and listen to while you're going down the street, you know. But I digress. Anyway, every now and then, whenever you go across to one of those teleporty signs that give you the ability to time travel, you'll usually come across one of these spring things that used to be a bit of a nightmare in previous Sonic games. However, in this Sonic game, these spring things are no longer a nightmare, they're actually a good benefit to you. So yeah, they fixed one problem with the Sonic level design. The only problem is they kept this problem in all the future iterations because they love using those two springs pointing at each other sort of thing in these games, and I don't know why. They're more annoying, they're not really challenging to come across, they're just frustrating. But I digress. It's time to head to the next special stage. And honestly, like I said, I love the aesthetics in this game, you know, I love the way this game looks. It just looks fantastic, and the special stages are no different. Although one big reason why I'm glad I'm playing the Steam version as opposed to the Mega CD or even the ports version on like Sonic Gems Collection is because these special stages in this version run at a full 60 frames a second. On the other versions of the game, not so much, you know, they don't run as well. There's like a second input lag, and it makes these special stages quite awkward and annoying to deal with, I feel. Like playing this game on the hardware, on the official hardware of the console now, I can't do it anymore. I honestly can't bring myself to do it anymore just because the Steam version's out, and the Steam version is just that much better, you know? And it's not often that I go for the ports over the original version, but, you know. Probably helps by the fact I have a Sega Saturn controller for the PC, so it kind of makes me feel like I'm playing it on a decent console. But I digress, it's the same old stuff we come to know and love, so just boop all these UFOs, and occasionally you'll get items and whatnot from the UFOs, like rings and speed shoes. Now whenever you pick up speed shoes in these special stages, you will either love it or you will hate them. Because the speed shoes will propel you forward, so basically you'll reach a top speed, you'll go a lot faster than normal. And you will either love this because you can hit the UFOs quicker, or you will hate this because you will miss the UFOs quicker, you know? It's awkward. But anyway, welcome to Act 2, and That's some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles pizza behind the wall shit right there. To this day, I don't know if it's possible to get that ring box. I assume it is, but I don't know. It just really annoys me that they put that ring box there. It's like they didn't think when they were designing parts of the stage. And that's a feeling I have for a lot of this game, folks. You know, it just feels like in a lot of the points in this game, it feels like the game developers just didn't think about what they were doing. And you'll find rings and stuff hiding in the walls you can't actually get to. There is a reason for that, and it's because you'll be able to access those rings if you teleport back to the past. Not teleport, time travel to the past or future, because the level design will actually change slightly when you're in the past or future, which I think is quite neat, you know. Don't get me wrong, this game isn't perfect, but it has some good points about it, you know. There's loads of good ideas. I just think they could have utilized it a lot better, you know, and got a little bit better level design. And the fact is, it's an exploration-based game that's 2D doesn't help. I haven't got a very popular opinion in terms of like games like the Metroidvania type of games, you know, because I'm not a big fan of them, and it's primarily because I just don't think exploration-focused games really work well in 2D. You know, I always get lost in these levels in 2D games as opposed to 3D. I'm trying to think of the term. I have less of a mental compass, I suppose. I always get lost in these stages, basically. So I really do think collecting and exploration-based level design works better in 3D as opposed to 2D. And I know there's people who will disagree with me. Like, there's loads of people who love the Metroid games through and through, and to each their own, you know. I'm not going to mock you. The Metroid games are fine games. I just think the fundamentals aren't for me, personally. I can't really speak much about Metroid Prime. I do enjoy Metroid Prime, so yeah, I digress anyway. But yeah, you might, if you've ever played Sonic Chronicles on the Nintendo DS, you will actually listen to this music, and you will actually be able to notice something. This music might sound familiar to you, isn't it? Well, because one of the stages in the Sonic Chronicles game is actually a very poor remix of this. I emphasize the word very poor here, because the music in Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood is awful, and that's an awful game. Well, honestly, I enjoyed it, but yeah, it's not a good game. I can be honest, I enjoy bad games sometimes, and it's the fact that I can tell it's a bad game and still enjoy it, you know? I'm willing to admit it's a bad game. But anyway, with that's Tidal Tempest Zone Act 2 over and done with. And one bit of advice I can give you when you're looking for the roboticizing machines is they tend to be sort of hidden higher up, you know, they tend to be in higher routes of the level. So, oh my god, I feel like I'm having a seizure. My eyes, oh, ah, Christ, did someone put LSD in my can of Coca-Cola or something? Sweet mother of mercy, taste the rainbow, motherfucker. So yeah, this is probably my least favorite special stage out of the lot, and it's purely for one reason. You're gonna get a seizure playing this, you know. It's so bright, it's so colourful, it hurts your eyes, and honestly, I feel like I'm on acid. I really do. It just, oh my god, my eyes. Oh, the sooner I can get out of the special stage, the better. Although a special stage I always have issues with anyway, so it's kind of, this may go on a little bit longer. You'll find that a lot of the later special stages tend to drag out a little bit longer just because getting a couple of the UFOs are really difficult. Because what I find is the UFOs are really erratic, you know, they always go in very annoying patterns that sometimes whenever you go to hit them, they'll zoom out of the way at the last minute, which drives me batshit up the wall, you know, and Jesus Christ, was the Chaos Emeralds and the Time Stone worth all this? Wow! Okay, I clearly clipped through him. And that's one major issue I kind of have with these special stages is whenever you jump into some of these UFOs, the hitbox isn't perfect. So sometimes you will be pretty much certain you hit the UFO, but it won't count as being destroyed. And honestly, I'm gonna have to blame old technology for that one, you know, folks, because this was like this in the original Mega CD release of the game. So I'm basically blaming this on old technology and old game design. But I was wrong, there's 7 time stones, so we got one more time stone to go, folks, and we've pretty much got a good ending, well, a good ending done. So we don't have to worry about exploring all these stages. And what you'll find is the game will actually go by a hell of a lot quicker when you don't go searching for these areas, you know. This is actually one of the shortest Sonic games purely because it's all exploration focused, and when you're done with the exploring, well, you don't need to explore anymore, so the game goes by so quick. But anyway, for the sequence by here, we need to chase down Dr. Eggman in his giant Eggomatic. Ah, what an excellent turn of events! Because he's Eggman, get it? Sorry. But anyway, we need to chase him down and destroy him. When he gets enough damage done, he'll start exploding, and the passageway heading to a boss fight will open up. So just chase him through this passageway, and eventually we'll take down one of his most pathetic machines. Or ingenious machines, I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I'm gonna go with pathetic, because he protects himself using bubbles. Fucking bubbles! So what you need to do is essentially wait for him to get low enough for you to jump into the bubbles, breathe up the oxygen in said bubbles, which will pop them. And when all the bubbles are popped, you'll be able to simply jump up and boop him in his cockpit. You know, this is a really pathetic mission. And Dr. Eggman would win this if it weren't for the bubbles, believe it or not, folks. If he didn't use his bubbles and if he didn't jump down, we would be screwed. Eggman, you are the stupidest smart guy I have ever come to know, you know? But we all love Dr. Eggman, you know, for the smart dumbass that he is. But anyway, that is Zone 3 over and done with. So now, ladies and gentlemen, what zone is next? Well, next now we're going to be taking on Quartz Quadrant Zone, ladies and gentlemen, which is one of my favorite looking levels, actually, just because of the way it's designed, you know, because there's so many crystal formations and what have you. I don't know, I just like it. It looks cool, it looks nice. But one of the main gimmicks about this zone in particular are we got loads of conveyor belts, and the conveyor belts will either propel you forward or go backwards, you know, can be quite awkward. But right now, folks, you're gonna need to basically, you can see all these switches and stuff that you can actually jump on as well. And it's actually a little trick you can use on the Mega CD version of the game, which can basically easily propel you to. It can easily propel you to being able to go to the future and past and what have you. It's basically this one shaft right by where that sign was, where I just completely teleported from. And whenever you hit that shaft, basically you can jump down and you will automatically teleport because it'll send you back up into enough momentum. They fixed that in this version of the game, ladies and gentlemen, so unfortunately we can't do that, but honestly, I love this zone. And one thing I find really strange as well about the soundtrack in particular, not out of the Japanese soundtrack, but out of the American soundtrack, they did a lot of redoing of the songs in the American soundtrack, and I don't know why personally, but one thing I found really weird about it is the redone soundtrack. Some of the soundtrack, like the music in like the past levels or future levels, some of them are exactly the same as the Japanese version. I don't know why. It's really weird to me. I really have no idea why they bothered to change it in the first place if they're not going to redo the entire soundtrack, you know? But anyway, I haven't even spoke about those hologram things of Metal Sonic crushing squirrels. Whenever you see those holograms, just blow them up if you want. There's no benefit really. You just get a bunch more animals in the environment as you're progressing through the zone. You know, it's there, I guess. Yeah, there's not really point. There's no point between them. The only things you really need to bother with are the roboticizing machines and the time stones. So, yeah, time to get the last time stone. Speaking of, because yeah, we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we're almost done with this part, so it's time to do this. Right. And if anyone's a fan of Tron, you might like this upcoming special zone. At least I do. I don't know, I get Tron vibes, or actually, like a mixture between Tron and Flash Gordon. I don't know, the pyramid thing in the background reminds me of Flash Gordon. Flash! Savior of the universe! Sorry. But yeah, basically you've got all these Tron floors that if you walk on, it's still water, you know, they act just like water. I don't know, aesthetically I just like this, and I really do like the fact they tried their best to make each of these special zones stand out from each other. You know, every special zone looks different. And I like that, you know. There's a bit of character to the game. The arts department really did a good job. I'm honestly going to say that. I will praise this game's art design constantly throughout, you know. It got good use of color. And a lot of people would probably argue there's too much color in this game, but nah. I love my colorful games, you know, because look at me, I love colorful games. I usually complain when a game looks too grey, like GTA 4 for example. That looked awful. That looked honestly really awful, GTA 4 I found, but yeah, I digress. Let's just continue getting all these UFOs and hopefully we can get through this just fine. Like I said, every time you go up underneath 15 seconds left of the timer, a UFO will spawn in the center of the arena, so just run around to it and you can pop it for extra time. And you'll know the UFO is spawning in from the center of the arena because it will make a noise, okay? And of course, you can probably see me dropping frames, but I have no idea what caused that, so sorry. But all audio desync and whatnot I saw fixed, so... Editing! Yay! Okay, kill me, you little... There we go, got you! Oh god. I always get mini heart attacks though when I jump into the Tron pools, because this is the hardest special stage out of the lot with in terms of design, you know? I always have issues just getting through this design-wise. In fact, I've been in this so long, the music restarted. Jesus. Although even though I have trouble with this mostly in design, at least it doesn't give me a seizure like the last one did. I don't know what the design team behind that one was thinking. They were just nuts. They were insane. But either way, come on. I just need to get a good... screw it, right where is it? Honestly, I could probably go about this a little bit quicker, but honestly, getting through these special stages quickly isn't a priority. You don't want to try and be as quick as possible getting through these special stages. You're gonna want... Well, that's just lucky. You're gonna want to try and get through special stages at a reasonable pace, you know, so you can survive, basically, you know. It's not like other Sonic games in its design, you know, folks. We need to try and slow down. We don't need to go fast all the time. You know, you gotta go fast is the name of Sonic games. But hey, with that, we've got all 7 time stones. I love the text pops there. Got them all! It's like, cool. Sweet. Unfortunately, though, we don't have Supersonic, which I guess is both a blessing and a curse in the case of LPs. So yeah, we don't have a Supersonic way to transform. We can't transform into any super ability in this game, which is saddening, but hey, on the bright side, we don't have to go and explore the level slowly. Now we can just speed on through the stages and get to the end, which means the next part is actually the final part, folks. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't be sheepish, people, and I'll catch you all then. Bye!